What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI Auto Business. My name is Jay. It's Friday, it's noon, it's Central Time. That means it's time for more Cars on the Move, where we connect dealers, auctions, carriers, and tech. And we have a couple special guests today. We're doing a NIADA Accelerate 2023 Why You Should Consider Attending the Show in June show. And so we'll get into that here in a second. Please do you can share this, like it, copy, comment. Don't forget, if you're watching on demand, you can look in the video description, use time codes to click ahead. Feel free to do that. If you have a question, look at that chat going crazy. You can jump in the live chat. Let's do this. Let's add Ty. Let's see what's happening with it. Oh, Ty.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
How you feeling? I'm good. It's a little
good.
rainy and a little chilly out today, so I was staying back behind out of the auction parking lot like usual.
Cool.
Also, though, it's good because this way I get to give my undivided attention to today's guest, which I'm excited about because one of my things that I always say is love the dealer.
Love
right?
the dealer.
Love the dealer.
Love the dealer.
So why do I say love the dealer? Well, the dealer is the guy that's buying cars and selling cars. And if you really break it down how simple this is, that's all they do all day long. They buy cars and they sell cars. There's plenty of stuff that goes on in the middle there, which we can talk about. And that's why I like having dealers on, because the more you understand your customer, which in my opinion should be the independent dealer or the dealer, the more you understand what this guy's going through on a daily basis, the more you understand how valuable you are as a vendor, as a service provider, as a product, a technology, whatever it is you're doing to try to help a dealer have a better life. And they say this all the time, dealers say this all the time. I'm more interested in a partner than I am just somebody that I'm writing a check to every month or every week. So I'm really excited about NIADA, and the reason is because we've been to, I think, 2 now, haven't we, Jay? And when we go to these things, one of the things that you cannot miss is a lot of car dealers, right? So I think now would be a great time to go ahead and bring in our guests. We've got 2 great guests today. We've got Jason, who's in Florida, and we got Jack, who's in Georgia. And we're going to learn more about them and about how NIADA helps them, and even in their own state association. So thanks.
And they know each other, so this is going to be fun. All right, please do help us wish a warm welcome to Jason March and Jack Carter joining now. Here we go. All right, and now, so they're just joining right now. We had them in the waiting room for like 10 or 15 minutes, so they could be on the phone making deals. Jack's in his car. Jack, please say hello. You're live. How you doing?
Hey, man. Good afternoon. How are you?
We're good.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, good. Hey, good afternoon, Ty. Good to see you guys.
Good. You're in Georgia, right?
Yes, sir. Just east of Atlanta.
East of Atlanta. And what's the name of your dealership?
I own Turn and Burn Motors.
Turn and Burn. Turn and Burn Motors, just 30 minutes east of Atlanta.
That's
in
it.
Georgia. And was you used car guy?
Yes, sir. All used cars, buy here, pay here.
Buy here, pay here. All right, great. And then Jason's here. Jason, where are you at?
Hey guys, I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, and we have a buy here, pay here as well. And we are very close to I-95 and I-10, so we take advantage of a lot of loads coming out of South Florida and Orlando, and keeps our shipping costs down. So happy to be here today.
Hey, sorry, I know, just a second, that thing. Okay, I'm
and
back.
Not only that, but also you guys are both tied to associations. I just want to point that out. Is that right?
That's right. I'm the chairman of the FIADA, and the last 2 years I've been the president of the FIADA. So I'll be heading out to Las Vegas for the national show here next month.
Yeah,
Florida.
That's right. And I'm the current president of the GIADA.
GIADA. So it's Florida Independent Dealer Association, Georgia Independent Dealer Association. You guys are the chairman, the #1 guy in the state, right?
Oh, I don't know about that.
The man. If I'm an independent dealer and I'm in Georgia or Florida and I got a problem, I'm going to call you guys, and you guys are going to point me in the right direction. Is that right?
We're going to try to help for sure.
I got a question for you. How do I, if I'm in Florida or Georgia or any state for that matter, and I want to be a part of this, do I go straight to the NIADA or do I go to the state affiliated? How does that work?
So in Georgia, and I'm pretty sure this is the same in every state association, if you are a member of your state association, you are automatically a member of the NIADA. So
Okay.
when you pay your membership dues for your state, you're automatically, a portion of that goes to the NIADA, and so you're automatically a member.
Okay. So that's nationwide. If I'm in,
I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Is that true for Florida, Jason?
Yeah, that's true for Florida. I'm pretty sure not every state has an independent auto dealers association, but the ones that do and that are affiliated with the NIADA does collect that yearly membership due from your state association. So I'm sure you could join the national and not join the state, but most people just join through their state.
Okay, so I'm in Missouri. I've got a used car lot, whether that's buy here, pay here, or just used cars. And I heard about NIADA, but I want to become a member. So I'm going to Google NIADA Missouri. I'm going to start looking for it. I'm going to become a member of that. Now, I'm sure it'll tell me on the website, but why don't, just for fun, Florida and Georgia, what do you guys, if I'm in Florida or Georgia and I become a member, what do I get with that membership?
So we're going to give you some discounts at the auction. We're going to give you some discounts with some vendors, whether they're national like AutoZone or whether they're state-based like maybe an accounting firm or an insurance company. But what I think you're going to gain the most out of joining in Florida is you're going to get a great network of dealers and vendors that know the space, that eat, breathe, and sleep used cars every day. And you're going to meet some really good people that are in your industry, whether they're directly a dealer or they serve dealers or people that are in our industry. It's probably the best money you can spend as far as learning and meeting people that are in the industry.
Wow. I didn't know that it really got my attention. I can become a member and I can save auction fees. Are you serious?
Yeah. So, I mean, it works the same. It works the same for us too. We give out a coupon book, but to be honest, man, that's the tip of the iceberg. Really, that's not really the value is in who you meet, and just being associated with like-minded dealers, vendors, and just becoming better at what you do. It just puts you in an environment where you can't help but to learn something. And be better at, take that information back to your dealership. So really the value in becoming a member is not the discounts. I mean, that's just a perk, right? But the value is networking with the people that are doing the same thing you're doing.
Relationships. So here's another question. I've heard about 20 groups, right? So if I become a member, am I automatically placed in a 20 group or do I have to kind of work my way into a 20 group? How does that work? Because I've heard a lot of crazy good stuff about these 20 groups.
Yeah, so the 20 group is outside of the NIADA membership cost. It's going to be a separate quarterly cost, and you meet 3 times a year with your group. And the whole idea to the 20 group is you're seeing the same people, you get comfortable, you understand the people's operations that you're meeting with. The goal is to have a group that is very similar each month. And to Jack's point earlier about networking and meeting people and learning, the 20 group's like the ultimate hack for improving your business because the people in the group are probably doing the same things you are with a similar size employee base. They're operating under the same, stresses that we're all encountering, whether it's at auction, transport, parts costs, trying to find mechanics. So it's also great therapy. You can get out some of your frustrations with fellow dealers that are dealing with the same thing. And it's been huge for us. We've been 20 group members for 9 out of the 25 years we've been in business. And the last 9 have been our fastest growing.
Whoa, that's amazing.
Yeah, my experience is similar. And I think 20 groups. Just to add to what Jason was saying, that if you're a member of your state association and you get involved in NIADA, that's learning how to run your business and be efficient. 20 group is the next level where you want to fine tune things. And I prefer to be I want to be the smallest dealer in the room in my 20 group, which we're changing 20 groups now, but it's very important. I mean, if you really need to get in there and fine tune your business, being a part of a 20 group, I don't know how else you'd do it outside of that.
That's really cool. I hadn't heard that before. That's great. Go ahead, Jay.
That's a good way to put it.
I saw you taking notes. I didn't know if you wanted to say something.
Oh, well, yeah, no. We talk about fine-tuning in our logistics side of the world, where we have, like, round tables, or actually, I think you're putting together a 20, well, it's not a 20 group, but a carrier group with up to 10 carriers coming up in a couple weeks. And, yeah, these are amazing opportunities. What I find interesting, I shared in the live chat, what are 20 groups? I looked it up. NIADA dealer 20 groups are a collection of 20 non-competing dealers with similar business models who meet 3 times a year to exchange ideas, identify best practices, resolve challenges, and discover hidden opportunities. I mean, it's like pull up a chair, grab a cup of coffee, sit around kind of group, talk. Not that that's what it looks like exactly, but these are opportunities to step away from the day-to-day, what's taking your mind off of being able to just share and mentor each other, right? It's a mentorship program, kind of.
So, one thing it did for me, and when I talk to dealers in the state of Florida that are FIADA members, but they haven't committed to joining a 20 group, is that I didn't really know my costs per unit, per month. I knew how many cars we sold. I knew how much money we spent, but I didn't have a firm grasp on reconditioning costs per car, days in inventory, days in reconditioning status, cost per car in transport. So I was able to find out what our business actually did, because in the 20 group, they have a monthly number composition, and it's about 100 data points that you input from the previous month. You do this every month, so there's some homework attached to it. But when you sit down at that 20 group meeting, when you're at that table discussing your business for 2 days with other like-minded people, we're not just chit-chatting. We're talking about, hey, Jack, why were your numbers so, how do you sell so many cars with the lead count that you have? How do you not repossess that many cars? We can really get dialed in on who's great in certain areas, and then those people can educate the rest of the room on how they are able to find that success.
Transparency along with accountability is what I'm hearing, right?
And maybe a little technology
100%.
in there, right?
That's exactly what it is. It's transparency with accountability, and we hold each other accountable, and we talk about it, and I'm invested in fellow dealers and their growth and how they're doing and how can I help you? And it's like we extend a hand down to those that need a hand up, maybe some of the younger dealers or the newer dealers. And then I've got my hand up, looking for one of the bigger guys to pull me up to that level. So it's invaluable. Like at first my attitude was, I don't have time for a 20 group. I don't have the money to go to a 20 group. But now that I'm in it, it's just like the state association. You realize you don't have time to not do it. You don't have the money to avoid it. You can't afford to not go. So it's a ton of value. And it's, it's like, it's like how much can you love somebody? You don't know that until you have a child, right? It's hard to understand how valuable the 20 groups are until you're in a 20 group and you're like, what have I been doing?
Yeah.
Where was I? So, I don't know if we're trying to sell 20 groups, but you just can't.
But we are selling 20 groups right now,
right.
whether we're trying to or not.
Yeah, you can't help but to feel the value when you're in it, and it might not come from the moderator. It might be the dealer next to you. And then, just like Jason said, we had a conversation before this phone call about, and you just leaped right into it. It's just like an old friend. And my last 20 group, I met a guy out of Pennsylvania that's bigger to us that I've been talking to, and it's invaluable. It really is.
I got a few questions that not necessarily NIADA, but just kind of some back and forth. Both of you guys obviously are selling a lot of cars, used cars. That's through the recon process, transportation. Buy here, pay here, by the way, was my favorite account when I had my trucks. They were just amazing because they had a recon facility. And so what I had figured out is you follow the wholesale guy, because the buyers for the buy here, pay here, they had buyers or PAs, purchasing agents. And so they're either buying at an auction or directly from a wholesaler's lot, wherever that is, warehouse. And so anyway, you can figure that out. They're going to go to the auction. They're going to go to the wholesaler. We're going to take them to recon. When we drop them off at recon, we're going to pick up a load of cars going to the store across town or whatever that might be. And then we're going to pick up repos. So we're just moving cars all the time, which I love that. So that's how it maybe used to be. I think before COVID, where I'm going with this was, I'm assuming most of you guys were at physical auctions buying cars. Was that fair before COVID? Probably the same 3 or 4 auctions every week.
That's correct. I think that's correct.
Yeah.
I still go to physical auctions. I still attend the real auction. Around here in Atlanta, a lot of them opened back up, a year or so ago, year and a half ago, and they're booming. So the physical auction is nowhere near going away.
Yeah, well, and I agree, Jack. I'm a physical auction guy myself, and it's funny because of what we see. We have a lot of black backlot car friends, ACV friends. Then you get into the VinQs and the dealer links. I mean, you guys know about these guys, right? Vehicle acquisition and different things like that. I think. So now, Jack, you're the best answer I've gotten so far. I love your answer. I'm into physical auction. That's where I'm at. Jason, what about you?
Yeah, so COVID pushed us to get more comfortable online. So we haven't been to a physical auction in over 3 years. We buy from 8 states, and we are dealing with, we are using central dispatch to get vehicles transported home.
And there it is. It only took 15 minutes to go from automotive conversation right into our backyard. It's amazing. Blows my mind every time. I don't mean to derail you. Please keep going. And the technology and the digital auctions blowing my mind. Please keep going.
So we used to buy a lot out of Orlando, and Orlando just became extremely competitive with other buyers. So we branched out. We found that we could buy cars and get them shipped back to Jacksonville for less than what cars were selling for in Orlando. And we're only about 2 hours from Orlando. So obviously many big auctions down there, but we're pretty happy with kind of branching out and learning a different side of the business. So it has been helpful for us, but it can also create some headaches when you're trying to transport vehicles from many states away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jack, I'm going to come back to Jason, but Jack, so you've got I'm going to go with, you have a guy. You just call Ty, he's my transport guy. He'll get him picked up because sounds like you're doing the same auctions on a regular basis.
So I've got a buyer down in Florida. I've got a buyer here in Atlanta, and I buy. So we buy locally and we buy from the Southeast. So I've got one buyer that he handles all his own transport. He's hooked up with a transport out of Florida, and all the local stuff we use, we got our go-tos, stuff that we buy within the surrounding states. We use central dispatch. So it's a cluster, right? I mean, it just depends on how many we've got, where the cars are located, who bought it. There's too much to it, really. But I don't feel like we have many transport issues. I mean, out of all my problems, that one's not a big deal.
Good. Well, Jason, I'm going to see Jason in Vegas, and I'm going to introduce Jason to a company called Super Dispatch. And I bet Jason will love Super Dispatch to help manage that online inventory.
So, hey, we'll start here. Have you heard, because you hadn't heard of ATI Auto Business, Have you heard of Super Dispatch?
No.
No.
All right, so we're 0 for 2, Ty. First
That's what
buzzer
we
of the
do.
show. Wow.
No, this is
That's all
good
right. We're
information.
used
You
to
see,
it. We're tough.
no, this is what the reality of what happened was. Everybody had to go try to figure out how to do business the way they've never done business, and it's very challenging. And you know, you listen to Jason and Jack start talking about time to line, days to the front row, you know, these costs, right? These expenses, the interest on them daily, and when they're in a 20 group and they're getting into the micro of all the expenses, you know, I always like to ask car dealers, what's your electric bill every month for your lot? Nobody thinks about that one, do they?
I have no idea.
You don't want to know.
I'm going to shift gears here. What I want to do, this is good. So one of the things I wrote down on my notes, because I'm always taking notes, is that this is an example of the type of learning that will happen at a trade show. One of my favorite places at a trade show is the hallway. You can sit in the educational sessions, but it's in the hallway where I get to talk to people and learn things and ask dumb questions like I'm doing here live. Is I get to learn things. And at NIADA, it's the 19th to the 22nd of June. And there are educational sessions. Jason, you're going to be there. Can you talk more about what NIADA, the big tent, looks like next month?
So it's exciting this year specifically. There is a new CEO for the NIADA. His name is Jeff Martin. He was phenomenal in Texas, catapulting them to the largest independent state convention. And now we have thankfully been able to place him at the national level. So this year you will see vendors in the dealer hall, hundreds of people that are in our industry looking to serve dealers and other people that serve dealers. We were talking a little bit before the call, but this is a great place to pick up a new CPA, maybe an insurance company, or at least get an introduction to somebody that can help you with some of the back office stuff that you may be struggling with people that know the industry very well. Jay, you did mention educational sessions. We will have many educational sessions. One I'm going to be a part of will be a CPA from a CPA firm in South Florida who is going to get up and educate dealers on a little bit more expert level things that they should be looking at when it comes to their business, not just the beginners numbers, but some things that you should be really identifying. I think we're going to see some people definitely talking about online vehicle acquisition. There's always a big presence of people talking about compliance and keeping your dealership compliant. So I think on top of the networking and meeting other like-minded people, there's a wealth of information that will be shared there for the amount of money that you pay. I would say it's a bargain.
Perfect. And Jack, you were talking about, if I wrote down like government leaders, officials, appointees. Can you talk more about the impact of NIADA on policy making? Your take on that.
I mean, I think it's tremendous. For me, that's the NIADA's role. They might tell you otherwise. I'm not exactly sure what they see their main role as, but I believe that educating the legislators is right on up there with the most important thing that they can do on a national level. We need them. We are friends. The NIADA is friends with several senators and several lawmakers that visit us every year that I'm sure will be involved coming up when we go to Washington in September. So I feel like there's a heavy amount of importance on that. We've got to keep them educated. We've got to let them know what unintended consequences are to new legislation. We constantly have to remind them that how needed the used car dealers are in our society. Buy here, pay here dealers. Of course, we put people in cars that that nobody else will put. I mean, how would these people get back and forth if it weren't for us selling them cars? So, we've got a big deficit in our how we're perceived, and so we've got to work diligently to make sure that we show the positive side of the used car business and stay on top of the legislators. And for me, that's just a key point. Something Jason mentioned that I don't think any of us have talked about, and even with on the state level, a huge importance is staying in compliance. Sometimes I just forget about that because I feel like we are on top of it, but there was a time in my career and with my business where we weren't on top of compliance, and you can get hurt real quick. So that's something else that the states and NIADA really helps with, is staying in compliance. And I don't want to leave that out. I know he just mentioned it on the fly, but that's something else that's super important, is doing business the right way.
So I just want to follow up and say, what's interesting is because some shows we go to are just, they're shows that are put together for reasons, but this is an association show, right? And the importance of an association, Ty likes to point out that dealers are bedrocks of community. You just pointed out again. You talked about important things like compliance, and then we're talking about vendors, and then we're talking about policymakers. And these are all things, it takes a moment to consider, we use the word ecosystem, all of the areas that are important to your business, livelihood, and society. I don't mean to sound like, a philosopher here, but this is more than a business meeting.
Absolutely it is.
Relationship. Ooh, all about it.
So I'll say, how about this? I'll say final thoughts. We made it. We're at the 30-minute mark. We don't want to keep you, we know you're busy. Anything that we left out? Final thoughts.
Well, I think yeah, go ahead, Jack.
He's always first.
Good.
He's always first. No, I think anybody watching this needs to really understand that, if you had the same mentality that I used to have about, I don't have time for that, or I don't have the money for that, or I don't have the money to fly out there, you'll get your money and your time back, and you'll be able to fine tune your business. You'll be doing things that really help you move forward, help you grow. And it's not all about the vendors. It's not all about selling and pushing products. You can go to the classes and jet to your hotel room, or you can be in the expo hall all night. I think there's a lot of people who are kind of introvert that get intimidated with big conferences like this, and it can be whatever you make out of it. And networking with people like Jason March has improved my life tremendously and my business. And I think that's what this conversation is about, is just helping the general dealers understand the importance of the NIADA and these big annual meetings. So I definitely recommend it, hands down.
I'd heard the statistic one time that in the United States, 1 in 3 adults have worked in the automotive industry.
Wow.
And that statistic may be completely made up. I always thought it was a pretty interesting statistic. I know for sure on the road that our business is on, that the largest employer by far is automotive. Whether it's new car dealer, parts places, mechanic shops, used car dealer, paint and body, all of those things play into our industry. And I think the better that the vendor understands how their industry works, the better that you can run your business. One thing I see some people in our industry very slow to accept is a virtual assistant. What could you do if you had somebody on call for you at all times of the day for $7 an hour that could pick up a phone or send a text message and do a fantastic job at communicating your message without you having to physically do it? These are some things that I've learned in the past couple of years and put to work at our dealership. And
do you have a virtual assistant for $7 an hour?
So let me tell you a story of what we're doing.
Man.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
If we have some time.
Cat's out of the bag now.
So So a couple years ago, when we were figuring out this new way to buy inventory, a friend of mine had mentioned to me that a lot of logistics companies had subbed their customer service to Columbia. So I got on a website called Upwork, and I found a Colombian young man who had been working for Dart Logistics, Dart Transport. I don't know what the last name is.
I've heard of
D-A-R-T.
Yeah.
And he was working their night shift, and he had credentials of up to $250 a night to book a hotel room for a driver. So the guy had been there for a while, had some integrity, obviously, if the company's trusting him, and he understood the United States and how transporters work around the United States. Guy speaks great English, learned in the call center, and now when we buy a car at auction, we send him the information. He coordinates with Central Dispatch, the transporter, and my office manager who cuts the check. And then we don't touch any of the logistics piece in-house at the dealership. He takes care of everything, and we hand that check off to the transporter when they drop off. And
I can't stand you, man.
Did you hear that, Ty? And I knew this, and I've actually had a guy on the show from either Columbia or one of the surrounding areas. Yes, I knew about this. And it's big,
look at Jack.
actually.
Jack's like, give me some names and numbers. Where's
Jack's
the link?
ready to go to the
Where's the link
20
in the live
group.
chat?
He's going to need another meeting.
You better hope I don't find this man's number. I'm gonna offer him $10 an hour.
It's D-A-R. Okay.
Oh boy,
Never fail. One step ahead, march.
Jason, always ahead.
Wow.
Come on, man.
But you know, those are the type of ideas. I met a guy. He had several people working for him in the Philippines. The Philippines time doesn't always work for us, so we wanted to find somebody more in like a near shore. They call that near shore, like you hear offshore, like India and the Philippines. If you hear near,
get out of here with the offshore. We have near shore.
So that's like Mexico, Caribbean, Latin America. And so a lot of American businesses for years have been moving their, work from home type activities to Latin America. And it is amazing the work ethic you find. If you find yourself on the phone all day and you're the general manager, the CFO, the CEO, the driver, the loader, the whole thing, I would highly encourage you, read a book, figure out how to delegate some of your information processing, some of your delegation of, whether it's phone, text, communication with your other vendor. Try to find somebody that can help you do that, because you can only do so much in a day.
Mm-hmm. Amen. Ding. Ding. That's why we always say, if you need anything, call Ty, 417-483-2764.
That's right. I got to put that in the live chat.
NIADA. Right. I can hook you up with two guys that know the buy here, pay here business. Jack and Jason.
Wow.
I don't know about me. Tell them to call March. Thanks, guys.
You guys
that was
really
incredible.
Appreciate your time. Yeah, thank you guys.
Fantastic segment. Thank you so much.
Look forward to meeting you soon.
Jason, we'll see you at the show next month. Ty and I will both be there. And then Jack, if there's anything we can do. When you do finally have a transportation problem, give us a call.
That's right. All right. Well, look,
one of these days.
Yeah, I'll be there next year for sure.
All right, perfect. All right. Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
All right, thanks
everybody. Jason. See you guys.
Thank you. Take care. And I'll let you go. I'll put you in the waiting room. And okay, so Ty, you and I, you got the.
Oh, hey, we're back.
Hey, what's up, buddy? All right.
Whoa, missed the button.
Yeah, no, actually, that was rehearsal. Now we're about to go live. We're going to do this for real.
That was so.
You know me too well.
We could definitely have talked about transportation with these guys forever. Wow.
And this is where I put it in the live chat because I got to brag a little because somebody has to.
Right.
I wrote proof. Because I've been saying, if you're in automotive, you're in transportation. And Jason literally, that was unrehearsed, literally proved it live. And what he had, we had a guy on few years ago, Roberto, he was right. He was in northern section of South America or something, and he's a dispatcher. Was running a dispatch office, and I've been contacted by somebody from the Philippines, anyways. Which is why if you are, and Jason Sells, finish this part. If you are on the phone and you're a pain in the butt, there are dudes around the world willing to do a better job. So, don't be a pain.
Well, again, talking to our carrier community, I'm sure Jay's already put the link in 100 times. But if you were really looking at a conference to go learn more about the used car dealer, this is definitely the one.
It's NIADA. Yep, I did. I got all kinds of graphics all over the screen. Screwed that up. Accelerate your success. Accelerate your learning. Accelerate your planning. NIADA Convention and Expo 2023. It's in 30 days. There's plenty of time to sign up.
And Jay and I are both going to be there. Yeah. So this would even be a better opportunity, not only get to hang out with us, but we could show you how to talk to car dealers, because it's no joke. There's going to be car dealers here like crazy. So I would definitely encourage you, if you got the time and the finances, just like that Jack was saying. He's like, I don't have time. I don't really want to spend the money on that. That's okay, but just keep in mind, this isn't a vacation. This isn't,
No kidding. I'm so glad you said that. This is not a vacation.
We're not going to the casino. We're not.
No. Yeah,
this is work.
Yeah,
you go to bed.
In fact, that's one of the things you've talked about because Vegas can be a distraction. I don't care what city it is.
Yeah.
My plan is to not leave the hotel.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Don't leave the. No. You don't need to.
No, you don't.
This is at the Wynn Hotel, so you really don't need to.
Well, you don't need to go. Yeah, you don't need to leave the conference floor. The floor exactly. Where the conference is at. Don't leave that floor. Well, that's what I'm saying. They really, and Jay and I talk about these a lot.
We do.
And you're never going to hear me say, don't go to the NIADA. You always hear me say, go to NIADA. And the reason I'm saying it is because there is some, Jason was smart. He was talking about these vendors in the exhibit hall, right? And he kept saying, this might be a good place to check insurance, might be a good place to find you a good CPA. Well, there's other technologies there. There's other things there that you can learn. See, and then, you want to know why I get excited? I'm excited right now because as a transport guy, the more you understand about this business, you can actually walk up to a guy like Jack or Jason and say, hey, how's transportation working out for you? Well, I got a guy in Columbia. Well, have you heard of Super Dispatch?
Right, and now you're talking about our neck of the woods. And I want to say this too, is that, okay, let's think of all the conferences you go to. You're gonna go to over a dozen shows this year. If you had to pick one for our core.
Our core, NIADA.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it is a no-brainer. You given the cost, given what you're gonna who you could meet, what you're gonna learn. This is actually the closest thing. I'm just gonna say this. This is the closest thing to mats. Because a trucker thinks of mats and gats. But then what do you do when you get there? You just walk around gathering swag, looking at trucks.
Well, you look at trucks,
But you don't build your business. Not really. You talk about
it. Don't get you home.
I don't want to. I know, Jay, you don't drive. You don't know. I'm going overboard here. But NIADA is the GATS or the mats where you might improve your business.
No, you will.
You will. I think
there's no doubt. There's no doubt. And there's... the opportunity, really, guys, we've been there. I know, I've been there. And I'm just telling you, it's real. And the reason that we talk about these things is because we want you to build a business that is sustainable, right? That'll be around. And I've been in this long enough, and even in my current role in the auto transport world, I can tell you the life expectancy of a new startup car hauler guy is 1.72 years. It's not too good, right?
You may as well spend the money, go to this show before you buy your truck. Because
you'd be better ahead.
You would be better. And I tell you, because I hate to say, and I know I'm getting too excited too. I need to calm down. I gotta say, because otherwise, if I sound too excited, it sounds like I'm selling something.
Right.
I'm not trying to sell something that ain't worth it. This isn't some vacuum cleaner you ain't gonna use. But what I want to say is that you'll meet dealers that are doing their own car hauling. Heck, buy that guy a beer.
Yeah, for sure.
Find
Talk to him
out
for a
why
bit.
that is and what's he using. Yeah.
Right. How's that working out?
Yeah. How's that going?
Well, my point where I was going with that was NIADA has been very, very kind and generous to ATI, Ty and Jay. And we want to acknowledge that and say thank you very much.
Yes, absolutely.
NIADA. Jeff, I
Troy
haven't got to
Shear. We're going to meet. Oh,
Troy.
so this is a perfect time. Segue. You ready?
Yeah.
Perfect segue. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see here. Jeez, Jay. Oh, man. What was that? I was just talking about a show that's never ready. Okay. NIADA Accelerate is the name of the show. And I was, looking at like the expo stuff. This is if you want to have a booth. But this, have you seen this yet? This is on their website. Attendees at a glance. 90% of the attendees are dealers. So if you don't like dealers, maybe don't go. I mean, there's going to be that one guy. And then buy here, pay here. What's interesting,
one guy.
One guy's like, I don't like dealers.
I'm a transfer. I hate cardio.
but this is what I wanted to say is that, so Tuesday night, we're going to have the NIADA Energy Show, the pre-show on ATI.
Yeah.
I've been working with Troy, and so he's in the process of locking it in, but I think he's got it pretty much locked in. We're gonna have Jeff Martin on
I know.
Tuesday night. And now did they say he's the current CEO?
President or CEO,
President, okay.
He just got the role like recent.
Yeah, so Jeff Martin, and he's been doing there's been other media appearances, so he's going to be on our show Tuesday night. Kendra Brown, we've heard of Kendra. She is Director of Operations at Dream Team Media. She's been on different collaborations with Car Guys Coffee Podcast. She's going to be on Tuesday night. Candace Price, check this out. You talked to Candace live at one of I think it was this show last summer. She's the owner at Home Team Auto Sales, and I believe she was on a panel. When you see her, you guys are going to be like, oh my God. I'm telling you, it's awesome. And then I think Tracy Myers. He's the owner at Frank Myers Auto Max. I don't think we have met Tracy or ever seen him. But anyway, so that's what's happening Tuesday night. Troy is still putting it together. Shout out Troy Shear at NIADA for helping us collaborate and put things together. And I will say this, I'm really excited I thought today's show went really well. We're going to do another Cars on the Move on, June 2nd. And I think we might have Jeff on that. I'm not sure. We'll see. But,
that'd be cool.
But we're gonna be talking about, you're gonna get tired of us. NIADA Accelerate 2023 for the next 30 days.
Right. I would love for anybody that's watching the show to come. Anybody that's watching this right now, we really would like to have you.
And if you don't know why, call or text Ty 417-483-2764. And you listen, you can tease him. Call him and keep him tied up for an hour and then be like, yeah, I don't want to go. I dare you.
Say that again now. Call who? And tease who for an hour? What? I got lost somewhere.
Dial 1-800-SUPER-DISPATCH. No, call if you're out there in audience land. Take two. If you're in audience land and if you're on the fence of NIADA, call or text Ty 417-483-2764, and he will tell you why you should go, and then you can say, no, I don't care about my business, and hang up.
Okay, now I'm with you. Yeah, you can do that if you want. Yeah, you're welcome to. I think we would love to see you. Jay and I would love to see you. We're going to be there. We know we're becoming more familiar.
It's not us being there. That's not why you're going.
No.
But we will be there.
If you need help getting around, you'll be really darn happy that we're there, right?
Whoa, no kidding. Ty connects people live.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing. Let's say you're behind on your elevator pitch. Ty will help you put that together live.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can show you. It's easy.
Exactly.
But that's the point. We're really here. We're really excited. We love car dealers. I always say it all the time. Love the dealer. There's a reason that we love the dealer. If you are in the transport business, you're thinking about getting in the transport or even a dealer. I mean, as I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. What if I wanted to become a used car dealer and I never was? Where would I go? How would I figure that out?
NIADA Accelerate 2020. Seriously, that's right.
No,
and then you learn about the 20 groups, and that is your mentorship program.
Right. So as I'm listening to Jason and Jack go back and forth, I'm like, this is really no different than starting out as a car hauler. Where do we go? Do we have a state association?
I know, it is.
I don't think so. But
Man, maybe
we got AHA. What's the next step? I don't know. So I'm just thankful that NIADA has a program. If I wanted to become a used car dealer, buy here, pay here dealer, at least there's a place to go where I can learn some things.
I'm going to say something really dangerous. You ready for this? This is some craziness.
Sure. Whoa.
But of all the associations, hold on, of all the associations I currently know of, and you're trying to build a business as a car hauler, this might be the one to look into. Whoa.
The NIADA, yeah.
Whoa, Jay. But you know what? I'm not here to protect the old message. I'm not.
Well, it could also be the, I'll do like the...
Sorry, guys.
Car, IARA car, those guys.
Yes.
But, by the way, did you know who's going to be at the NIADA?
But right now, today,
Auctions.
if you had to choose, I don't want to get into a bidding war, but yeah. But I think you're gonna get. I'm gonna stop
it's
there.
NIADA.
Yeah,
NIADA.
it's thank you. It's NIADA. It really is. It's NIADA. It is.
Well, what I'm saying is they've got the NIADA, in my opinion, is the better because you've got the actual dealer and you can talk to that guy. And and also, by the way, that's what I was trying to say. I'm sorry. I know America's is going to have a booth there. America's Auto Auction.
Is that right at NIADA? That's smart. I didn't. Do they have that?
I swear I saw a post. They're going to be there.
Oh, but it may. I don't think there's a list of exhibitors yet.
Oh, well, I think they had a post. I think America's going to be there.
That's awesome, dude.
Well, right. And my point in
really
saying
smart.
that is, okay, what do you have now? You've got the dealer, the auction, and now we're bringing the carrier gang with us.
So how many carriers have booths at NIADA? We're going to find that out.
Ooh.
Brokers, carriers, right? Asset heavy, asset light.
Is any of our friends going?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. We're going to have to report back. We'll let you guys know. We don't even know.
June 2nd. Yeah, we're going to get to the bottom of this. Bye. Meeting over. I'm going to get to work. I got stuff to do.
Man, we got stuff to do. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much. Great job today, Ty. Awesome.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, man. All right. Thanks, everybody. Now, I know that Chris Chamberlain, anyone here using one now? You know somebody is, and they ain't going to talk about it. Because you can't talk like that. Oh, Brova. Awesome. We got one. Brova, here's what I want you to do. And I apologize. I don't know anybody's name anymore. I just go by with the alias. But Brova Chaws Lemons, do this. Please call or text Ty. 417-483-2764. Find out what it would take to go. Now, there is a registration fee, and we do have a link in the live chat. We don't have any complimentary registrations. We wish we did. But I think it's around $500 to attend. It's June 19th through the 22nd. You register online. I think for non-members, it's $600. Okay? Brother, awesome. And you'll have to remind me every week because I'm numb. So you got the $600 registration fee. Then it's at the Wynn in Las Vegas. There is a show group rate. So you think if you got your hotel and then it's in Las Vegas, so you probably got your travel. Anyways, those are the ways to think about it. But let's say you reached $2,000 to go to this show. Think of it, right? Think of that investment in your business. And again, I don't want to sell anything that's not useful. but I really do believe in this show. And here's what's cool too: you can go back and watch past. I think if you go to YouTube, let's just do this. Go to YouTube and type in NIADA show. NIADA show. And there's some links to, we got a whole mess of ATI links that you can watch some NIADA show. It's like, it's cool, I get it. Yeah, I know. I beat the dead horse. I do it live. All right, I got to wrap this up. I got to get out of here. Listen, thank you guys so much. Really do. Ask us questions, and we appreciate you. Tuesday night, NIADA live on ATI. So we got more NIADA information coming. You're going to see it on social media. You're going to see it on ATI. It really is a big show. It's a big deal, and we want to help answer questions before, during, and after. So thanks everybody so much. Get out of here. No way. Making martinis in your super chat. Yes, start your happy hour. Yes. I have a few meetings this afternoon, and then I am getting out of here. It is nice out, and try to grab an early dinner and enjoy the weekend. So I hope you can do the same. I know that a lot of people work on Saturdays. I'll be working Saturday morning. But try to enjoy some of the weekend. Get out there. Spend some family time. Breathe the fresh air and try to, get the most out of life. So we're ATI Auto Business. We're here to help. Thank you so much. Long show. I appreciate it. Talk to you soon. See you next week. Take care.